Hello, everybody. Economic Ninja here. Want to thank you for coming. I'm going to talk about the real estate market. I know there's a lot of subscribers that have been following this channel because ever since I called the top of the housing market at the end of July, they've been following to see one thing, if the ninja's right, and secondly, how they can take advantage of the situation. All right. And I know there's a lot of people that are considering selling their homes right now. I first want to say I'm not an investment advisor. This isn't financial advice. I'm an investor. I've been invested in real estate since 2001. I got out in mid 2006, sold all my homes, ran for the hills, warned everybody there was a crash coming in real estate, and very few people listened. That's okay. So now I'm saying it now, and it looks like that date in third week of July was the good point, because about 2 weeks later I started reporting on the just absolute slew of bad press about real estate and the housing market has turned. And so this is nothing different, but it brings some really interesting points. So here we go. It's out of Fortune a couple days ago. The housing market has changed, and reopened offices won't change that. Now I'm briefly going to be going over this. They're talking about here how everybody's returning to work and they're trying to get back to normal, and thinking that that is going to help continue the move in real estate to the upside. It says right here, one thing that really fueled the housing boom was the mortgage rates that had dropped. Buying a home with a $2,000 a month mortgage in cities like Boise, Idaho became more desirable for some than a $2,000 monthly rent payment in the big cities like San Francisco or New York. Very good point. A lot of people that were renting in large cities all of a sudden found themselves working from home, and their company said, hey, you're going to get to work from home as long as you want. And they said, hey, let's do it. And they took advantage of the situation, moved to a cheaper place to live, and actually bought a home. That is true. I know of people that have done that. The problem is, just like in 2006, and again, not a financial advisor, I'm an investor that was invested in homes since 2001, got out in 2006. The thing is the last group of people, and I'm not talking about institutional buyers, I'm talking about home owners that move into the housing market at the end of a cycle. They're not seasoned investors, and the problem is most of the time those people are moving in out of emotion because they have fear of missing out. They think that, and I heard it back in 2005, 2006. And I'm hearing it today. If I don't buy a home today, I'm never going to be able to afford one. And they have no idea the supply-demand dynamics that come into play with real estate. They do not truly understand how interest rates, both on a monthly and a multi-year cycle, affect home prices. They just don't understand that thing. So those things, and so they move into fear, and they jump into a home. And like I think I've told you guys before, I was just in DMV about, 7 months ago, talked to a lady at the DMV. She said she just bought a house. I said, congratulations. It's so exciting. Is this your first home? And she looked at me sort of sad, and she goes, no, we lost our home in 2008. We bought right at the top. And and obviously they'd already bought a new house. That's not the time to talk about this stuff. But it's crazy that people follow the exact same path. You know, it sounds funny. Most people go, why are there some people in this life that are always early to the game? They're the trendsetters. Well, because you have to learn how to become a trendsetter or spot a trend. And that's actually a skill that I've tried throughout, probably 100 videos to talk about how we refine our skills. And I'm always learning. You never stop learning how to to identify trends. And so, yeah, there you go. So that's a good point they bring. And then they said, they go down here. So it says right here, at least in part, what we're likely to see happen is a bit of a resurgence in terms of the urban housing markets. And this will be led by young professionals, Marr said. People don't live in cities just because of the easy commute. They live there for a lot of cultural reasons as well, he said. And Americans are still moving to what have become pretty excessive cities like Austin, Denver, Nashville. Boy, that is an understatement. He goes on to say they're cheaper relative to the places that people are coming from. We've actually looked at the budgets of people that are moving there, he said. But what I would say is they're pretty competitive housing markets. Okay, let me stop there. So he's absolutely correct. The boom in these smaller cities that have good, like Austin, that have good employment opportunities are going to continue to see growth. But here's the problem. That doesn't always affect home prices in a positive way, okay? So even though there's still demand coming into these smaller cities, what I have been showing you, and you're going to see, I believe, by October, an absolute huge number coming out showing the amount of homes for sale have, I'm going to say, exploded by October's numbers. You're going to see homes available for sale are going to increase huge because of a couple different issues. First off, you are going to see people waking up to the fact that, oh, I think the housing market's cooling off. You just look at all of these different headlines and you go, okay, something's happening. I've been thinking about selling. I'm going to finally do it. Then you have the other gorilla in the room, and this is no joke. The facts are there are so many people dealing with forbearance issues right now, and they're not talking about it publicly. This is identical to what happened to the mortgage issue back in 2007 when people's rates were starting to adjust and they were falling behind in payments. They didn't just go to the parties and brag about, hey, I'm behind in my mortgage. This is something that's very socially not talked about, right? And so what's happening is they're being handed three things: either walk away and lose your house, which they don't want, or refinance that house and save yourself $100 a month, but you're getting tagged into a 40-year mortgage at a much higher interest rate. Or, hey, you've got equity, sell that thing now and walk away with some profit. And I'm telling you right now, I believe that a lot of people are going to take that, and I'm already seeing it in my personal area. Inventory is increasing, and it sounds funny. I've told the story where in the town I live in, there was only 45 homes at one point for sale in our entire home, or in our entire town. And I talked to an agent and says, well, there's 60 now. And he's, oh, that's super small still. And I said, no, that's an increase of almost 50%. And people need to look at things as percentages. Percentages don't lie. And so I think that you're still going to see it fall. But yeah, I just want to go over this with you. I'm going to link this article in the description below because I don't want to just be an article reader, but I want to give you guys my thoughts. And so one thing I want to give you at the end of this video is that light at the end of the tunnel. And that is patience is a virtue for a reason. And patience is very hard. A wise man will wait for his prey to come to him rather than go and hunt it down. And the biggest thing about that is just positioning yourself properly. Position your savings right now. Position your investments. Position your debt. I don't think this is the time to... I think this is the time, honestly, to get excited about opportunities. Now, the other thing, too, is remember, patience. These things do not happen overnight. An economy does not collapse overnight. It takes time. And so as you learn this, as you hone your skills of understanding markets and how they go up and how they go down, be excited. Every day that you have another opportunity to save $1 and get $1 out of debt is a joyful thing. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. All right, guys, with that being said, thank you so much to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for everybody that's supporting the channel with thumbs up and sharing these videos. You are awesome. The Economic Ninja is out.